Hi, God brothers and sisters. Hi, God sisters. Hi, God brothers.
What up, though, somebody? How y'all doing?
This is with Jazz and RJ, and we are back with another one. So today's topic, we actually don't have a title right now. Is that okay? Is that okay? But today we're going to be talking about. So maybe it's more of a conversation.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we're talking about dating slash coming into marriage with a single parent, which was me, and coming in as a I'm sorry. Coming in coming in with a single parent. So he came into this with a parent or with a child already, if you will. And then me coming in as a single parent. The question, do I need to say it over? Aww. Okay, y'all. Listen, that's why I said it's a conversation. I don't have a title because, okay.
Coming into a marriage as a step.
What? Maybe I shouldn't have put both. Okay, let's start over.
As a stepdad or stepmom.
We're talking about coming into marriage, and then we could put slash dating, but coming into marriage with a single parent, coming into a marriage as a single parent. Do that sound better? Okay. So the point of this discussion is for encouragement, is to see another perspective, is to check our hearts, all those things. But the question that I wanted to focus this on is when people ask, is it possible to have a blended family sincerely and truly? Of course, my answer is yes. I'm sure my husband's answer is yes, but we just want to talk about, but let's talk about it. Like I said, to check our hearts, our mindsets, our thoughts, our postures in this mature conversation. All right? Mm-hmm. You want to start or you want?
Yeah, so I'm gonna start off by saying, I heard it's the way how you approach it, the way you approach the marriage slash dating.
I want to ask this question: how did you feel coming into a relationship or marriage with a single parent or a person that already had children?
Well,
let's say that.
For me, I felt prepared because of pretty much just taking care of my younger cousins, taking care of my brothers when we were younger. It gave me a mental mindset of this is what you're going to need to do. Yeah. And also too, what got me prepared was just knowing how I felt, without having a father in my life. That's something that I don't, that I did not want to take away from a child. Like it's, if I'm dating your mom, or when I was dating you, excuse me, when I was dating you, I didn't want that child to feel like I was just some dude just here for the ride, or I was just some guy that was here. No, I'm your dad. I'm your dad. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna comfort you. I'm going to do everything that your mom will do. Or pretty much just something else. I'm gonna do everything like a father for you. And I didn't see it like the word step. I didn't see that in me. I didn't see the word step. It's like, no, like you're my son. I'm not a replacement dad. I'm not a temporary dad. I'm here forever. So that's how I see it. It's just how you approach it, and you got to take that term step and just literally step on it and just say, no, this is my son. Come on. So,
all right. So I wanted to talk about how I felt coming into a relationship as a single parent. So I love how you answered that. That was so good. But initially, I had to pray, or that was me with God. This was one of my must-haves, if you will, must-be's, if you will. I pray and I asked God, or I told God, I need I need you to pick my husband first of all, but I need this man to understand that me and my son are a package. And I'm not saying that in a way because I don't want nobody to get confused about like you're trying to force someone to do. I didn't want to, or I didn't want that to be the case, that I'm trying to force you to have a relationship with my child. So when I say that, like, we are a package, that's what I meant. Like the willingness for him wanting to love my son as his own, the pushing forward, the effort of, I didn't want, or I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to force that, or if I could see it, this is what it was. If I could see that when I was dating people, I knew that they weren't it. So my prayer was, Lord, I need him to accept my child as his own. I'm gonna just say it that simple. And when my husband came along, it just flowed. It was just that. I didn't have to say, I never ever, and I said this before in the video, I've never felt like my husband separated my child. I never felt like I could see, even one, and this is once we started having children too, because I viewed them, but then after we had our children together, it was the same thing. I can't tell. Like nobody can. It's so funny when people be like, when we're in public and stuff, or they see our son, our oldest son, and they be like, "Oh, he look just like you," and we like, it'd be so funny because no, he don't. But it's just so funny. It's hilarious because they be so serious though. So maybe they're saying, maybe they can see spiritually that he's just, I don't know, that the connection. But yes, I was a little nervous, but not really. I had trust in that was a prayer that I had, and I knew, or I believed that God would answer it for me. And he did. And I didn't put too much in it. I just paid attention. And again, to this day, we have where my husband would be talking. I remember a few years ago, he would be talking to his family members that haven't seen him in over 12 years or so. And they would be like, I didn't know you had an older son. And he's like, oh, yeah. And that's the end of the conversation. Like, oh, yeah, I got an older son, and he'll talk about him like his name and all that. But they would just be going on as in like in a questionable sense, like, how come we never knew this? Because he's not telling them, this is my stepson, or this is my wife's son. My husband has never done that. And I'm just so thankful for that. And it's not even a feeling. It's not even him saying it. Like, I know, it's a knowing that he doesn't separate. And I know that the reason I'm speaking of that is because I know that, I don't know if it's a challenge. I don't want to put words in people's mouths, but I know when I'm speaking in conversation to people, like the way that they say, oh, my bonus child, oh, or they're making it known like there's a separation. So I understand as they keep talking, oh, it's something there. And it's kind of like what you were explaining. I know we wasn't on camera when we was explaining this, but there, to make it be a known separation, to understand and realize what that may be doing to the child. Like, that's what my concern is. Mm-hmm. Whatever issues that the parents may have with the other parents outside of the marriage, or the parents outside of the marriage and all that, it's sad if it goes into affect the child, like where they can see it. Because like I said, these are conversations I'm having with people, so I don't even know the other parent, I don't know the situation, but I can hear like there's a firm separation, like, and whatever they have going on, either with the child or with their spouse about their child, or with their spouse about the mother of the child, like, it's very evident. And I mean, I think that's the point of this conversation, is so that we check our posture, our heart, our mindset, because we have to understand that those things affect our children. The children are affected. The children can feel the separation. The children can feel, and you'll notice this, maybe as the child is an adult now or older, they'll start approaching you, or as they're talking to whoever they're in contact with, they'll say things like, oh, my father's wife, oh, my mother's husband, instead of saying my father, my mother, or even stepmother, stepfather. So you kind of can see where where there's issues or where whatever is lying there in the way that we approach and speak. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right now, I just wanted to say that also too, like if in one thing that I learned was, how you pretty much approach that child, and you got to understand, like my wife said, it's a package. So you have to love as much as you love that woman or you love that man. You got to love their kids just as you love them too as well. So one thing I
And
one
we're
thing
talking
I
about
wanted,
unconditional love
yeah,
is what we're talking
unconditional
about,
love.
not beloved.
And no, you're okay. And one thing that I did was I built a relationship with him. I say with him more to not only get brownie points. No, I'm just joking, but no, not only like I wanted to know how he felt, what was his likes, what was his dislikes, and this would give you a mindset of their real parent or father or
not real.
I mean
biological.
Excuse me, their biological
Mm-hmm.
parent if they made if they're a positive impact in their life or if they're in their life. And I'm not saying it as in like competition or nothing like that. This is just where where it's things that you could fill in to where that other person lacked. And sometimes it come to where you're going to meet that person, that biological parent, and you're going to need to have that one-on-one conversation and say, hey, I love your son or I love your daughter just as much as you love her, and I won't do anything or nothing or think about anything to harm her or anything like that. My main purpose is to fill in, it's to fill in where it's been absent at, but at the same
so
time,
that the child is whole.
Yeah, so that the child is whole, but at the same time, you are that kid's mother / or father. So that's why I did. I approached it like that. But the Lord blessed me with to where I don't have to sit up here and have a conversation with his biological father. I mean, I really do hope and pray that that day do come, but automatically I knew what he lacked because of the simple fact of it was like me as a child all over again. And he told me things where he thought he this guy was his father and he was calling him that, and then when he told him that he wasn't, it hurt his heart. It really crushed him. And I remember that situation happening to me, but it was in a different perspective to where my mom just, the guy, he was okay with me calling him pops, dad, but it didn't work out between him and my mom, and I was just like, man. So it was a blessing for me, a blessing in disguise for me, because when it came to getting to know him, everything was just smooth. Everything was good. It was great. And my wife, she noticed it, and that was one of the things that I wanted to show her. Like, hey, I could be a father. I could be in my son's life. Regardless if this is at the beginning. We are dating, uh, fiance, whatever, or marriage. Like, I'm here. And
yeah, and it never changed. That was what I noticed. That it never changed. It was never separation, or I ain't gonna say at least I can't tell. There was never a change. So that's how I knew that we could truly be a blended family. So the question again, is there a such thing as a true blended family, or can that is that really possible? I would say yes. And I would say yes too. I'm not just going off of how it worked for us, like how you were saying, my son's biological father is not in his life, because then you'll hear people say, well, that it worked out like that, because no, you still can truly have a blended family. There is a possibility. It's our heart, it's our mindset, it's the relationships we have with these people. That is what makes it be negative or positive. It's not that, because it's so many people or factors. Like, so say if you had a child, both of the parents got married to someone else. So now that child got 4 parents, plus once they're married, they got another set of parents. Like we have to look at it like that. Like that's a village. That means the child should be, it don't always have to be negative. That could mean the child is gonna succeed even more because they have all these sets of parents,
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. So never look at it in a negative way, like, oh, it's already messed up, the family already broken. Like, our mindset, we got to change our mindset, our heart posture when we're going into these relationships. Because, like I said before, if you're making it known there's a separation, the child feels that, and then that's their attitude towards you. Now, we the adults, we have to be the grown-ups. It's not that, oh, her son doing this, okay, but that maybe that's where you supposed to fill the gap, the void in, or the gap in, and this is your part as their parent now to help bring this all together, right? That's all I gotta say.
Well, I don't have nothing else to add on to it, but you know, just make sure that you approach it with a good heart, a good mind, soul, and spirit, and for the right intention. And remember, it's a package deal. Even if if it's where you have where you have kids and that person have kids,
Yeah.
remember it's still a package
Yes.
deal. And
that's a better win.
Yeah, it's a
me.
win-win, and as long as you guys build that positive relationship and get to grow a understanding, a mindset of like, hey, I am, I would like to be, or I would love to be your father, or hey, I would love to be your mother, to fill in to fill in the voids where it's needed, the areas where it's needed. So, but
we just pray that that's what our mindset and heart postures is, and that there's not where it's we're as family, we're supposed to be coming together, and not where it's distracting or breaking and splitting up division and oh, you got to choose me or them, like that. That's a whole nother conversation, I know, but I just wanted to put that in there too.
But with that being said, good people, we thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love you guys, and stay blessed. Bye.
Bye.